In terms of an agenda, very quickly, we'll spend about 15 minutes in our presentation with an overview of our college, our programs, the curriculum, and student experience. Then we'll spend the balance of the session answering your questions. Pete, if you could move forward. First, let me briefly introduce George Brown College. We are a public, fully accredited college of applied arts and technology located in downtown Toronto, Canada, and a leader in online training. What sets us apart is a robust online delivery method designed to meet the evolving needs of our students and industry. We offer flexible options, self-directed on-demand online learning, open enrollment, and virtual labs that use cutting-edge simulation software. And Geet will cover this shortly in the presentation. We also understand that every business has unique needs. That's why we also collaborate closely with employers to identify their requirements. Companies can choose to enroll in the full program or select courses that align with their current and future workforce training needs. As an employee, you should check with your employer to see if they'll cover the training as part of their workforce training initiatives. Typically, companies have budgets set aside for training. The next slide, please. Next, let me take you through a quick review of our distance learning and how it's evolved over time. In 1998, over 25 years ago, we launched our first program, Electronics Technician. We started with CD-ROMs, and now we offer our programs in web-based curriculum. Over the years, we've proudly led the way in distance learning by developing a range of programs in response to industry demand and trends. Our highly rated programs are centered around two pillars. The first are advanced industrial manufacturing technology. This includes electronics, electromechanical, two PLC programs, an introductory and a more advanced PLC Technician 2, robotics and automation technician. We have a clean tech pillar with our EV technician, our recently launched wind turbine technician, and soon to be launched in 2025, solar PV technician. Okay, next slide, please. Now let's explore some of the unique features of our programs. All our programs are delivered online, on demand, with an open enrollment and flexible payment options. Students can choose to purchase a course or a full program. Our programs seamlessly integrate theory with practice through proprietary simulation software. This real-world or 3D practice environments allows students to solve problems in a risk-free space and for employers to train employees virtually, minimizing potential liabilities. Continuous access to learning materials for ongoing practice is fundamental. By purchasing our programs, students receive and keep a licensed copy of the simulation software, granting them unlimited access to all the program materials, even after graduation. And this is really important so you can go back and refresh your skills and review the labs over and over again. There are also minimal barriers to entry. There are no academic prerequisites, minimal hardware requirements. Our programs operate on Windows operating systems, making them accessible to a broad audience. And ensuring the quality and integrity of our programs, we offer accredited testing that's seamlessly integrated in our web-based program materials. Just a note, once you've finished our programs, we offer all the official documentation that you'll need, including certificates, grade reports, receipts, or invoices, and they're all issued by George Brown College. So that gives you a brief overview, and I'll turn it over to Geet, and he'll walk you through the simulation software.
Thank you, Iris. Good afternoon, everyone. I'll take you all through some of the technical stuff of the programs that we offer. I'll walk you through some of the unique features in our program. And one of the standout features of our program is the extensive collection of more than 250 pre-built lab projects in each program. So I would say this lab projects are an integral part of your learning experience. They'll help you gain the practical experience you require to work in the manufacturing industry. Now, we all know this technical training programs, you really need to have that hands-on training. Without the hands-on practical experience, you won't have the knowledge that you need to work in the manufacturing industry. So here on our screen right now, we can see all the manufacturing environments that are covered in the PLC Logics 500, PLC Logics 5000, Robologics, as well as wind turbine simulation software. This simulation programs are unique to different courses that we offer, and we can. They're very realistic environments. They're more like we call them 3D worlds, but they're nothing but manufacturing environments, which you'll find when you work in industry. You'll come across different environments like this. So when you study modules in the program, you'll come across various lab projects and different practical programming examples. And these examples will teach you how to program, troubleshoot, and control this manufacturing environments using either it could be a ladder logic program in the background if you're studying PLC. It could also be a robotics program in the background if you're studying robotics technician or automation technician. So similarly, with different courses, you will come across various lab projects and you'll learn how to control them using the programming in the background. Let's take a look at, let me go to the next slide. There we go. So let's take a look at a quick demonstration video. We have prepared a video where you can see how the manufacturing environments work in real time. As displayed on the screen, that was the batch mixer. Now the next one is the bottle line plant, which is used in the pharmaceutical and beverage industry. Depending on the size of the bottle and the color of the liquid being filled, the bottles are sorted into different sections, as we can see here. All of this is controlled by the ladder logic program running in the background. We have accelerated the video a little bit due to time constraint, but when you study the program, this will not be running as fast as you see right now, and you will have enough time to go through the simulation as well as the ladder logic program. So while you go through the curriculum, you'll come across various lab projects, like I mentioned earlier. Here, this is a elevator application showing how elevators can be controlled by the PLCs in the background. So all of these applications are very commonly used in manufacturing industry, which are controlled by PLC and robotics and different programs. So what we really focus in our courses is we teach you the practical side of the program. So here, this is the silo application, very commonly used in the agriculture, food, and produce industries. And the traffic light simulation, where you learn how to control the timing of the yellow, green, and red lights. And again, this is controlled by the ladder program in the background. So these are just a few examples of different 3D worlds that you'll encounter during your PLC training journey. And maybe in the next slide, we can take a look at what a practical programming example look like. So this is one example where you can see the question is asking students to modify the ladder program to address some of the sub questions on the screen. I hope it's visible to you. The example is asking to add 20 units of solution A, 10 units of solution B, and then mix the solution, apply heat until a set point temperature is reached. And then you will also have to add some delay in the program, and then it will drain the solution once it's ready after that delay, and then repeat the procedure. So on the right-hand side, what you see is the ladder program, which controls the simulation environment of batch mixer. Now, depending on the question, depending on the challenging task given to you in the course, you will have to modify the ladder program such that all those requirements are fulfilled, and then you have to run the simulation to confirm and verify that it is working accordingly. And if you have any questions, you can always click on the solution button over there. The solution button will give you a step-by-step instruction on how to solve it. There would also be another lab project inside the solution button, which will give you the final result, final solution of the lab project created for you. So just in case if you don't know how to do it, we have that solution button there for you to take a look at it. But at the same time, we try to encourage students to try and modify on your own so that you learn from it, because the best way to learn programming is to trying out different examples, as many examples as possible. We can, let's go to the next one. So here, this is a Robologic simulation software. Now, this comes in our robotics technician program as well as the automation technician program. And Robologics is a state-of-the-art robotics simulation. It has 4 kinds of robots covered in the Robologic simulation. First one is the arc welding, spray painting, pick and place robot, the one we're looking at on the screen, and the spot welding robot as well. So here on the screen, the robot is picking up boxes from one conveyor belt and dropping onto the another one. It could also be, the program could also be modified to drop those boxes onto a pallet if that's the required task. Here, next one is the spray painting and the welding robots you'll see in a minute on the screen. So there are different kinds of robots covered in our program, and you will learn how to control them, how to program them, step by step. Our courses don't expect you to have any kind of background. We start from very basic level. We teach you everything you need to learn before we jump into programming. So you're not going to be feeling overwhelmed at any point. And also, while you're going through the program, you always have a technical and tutorial support available. Anytime you're stuck on a question or a program, you can always give us a call at the support center, and we have a great team of support advisors who would be able to help you answer any questions you may come across while you're doing the program. Let's take a look at the next slide here. This is the wind turbine simulation software. Obviously, as the name suggests, it comes with our wind turbine technician program. This is one of our the most recent program that we launched about a year ago. In this, on the screen, as we can see, it's a 1 megawatt wind turbine, and it's divided into 2 areas. There is a yaw control that controls the nacelle to make sure that it's always facing the wind to generate the most output. There is also a pitch control, which is to keep the power rating of the wind turbine to 1 megawatt. Now, this being a 1 megawatt wind turbine, you always want to make sure that you get the best output of it. So the way it works, it adjusts the pitch according to how strong or weak the wind is blowing, and depending on also what direction of the wind is. So here in this example, we can see how PLC is used to control, or you can say to regulate the pitch angle of the blades, and to keep the wind turbine working at the rated power level. Now, the power value is constantly pushed towards the rated value, which is 1 megawatt. So on the left-hand side, there is a dial where you can change the wind speed. So if you manually change the speed of the wind, you will see you'll see the power value changing as well, because nacelle and pitch control are coming into the picture, and they are making sure that we get the best power output from it. Next here is our EV technician program. This is one of, in this program, as you can see, you have 14 modules covered in the course. Again, the structure of our programs are very similar. You'll find all our programs follow the similar format. The EV technician program, as we all know, it's very in demand right now, very trending. Everything is converting. There is a push from the government as well to convert all our gasoline engine cars to EVs, and for that to happen, they will need huge number of technicians to repair the EV, as well as our program focuses on the charging station side. So it's not just about maintaining the EVs, but also about the infrastructure to support that number of EVs, and they'll need technicians to maintain the charging stations. Maybe I can move forward a little bit to a point where I can show you the simulation software. Okay, there we are. Maybe I'll pause it here for a second. So here, this is the circuit logic simulation software that comes in the EV program. Now, the circuit logic simulation software is not just for the EV, but it's also in the electronics, electromechanical courses as well. But the lab projects will be different depending on which program you're taking. Obviously, in EV, you will have a lot of lab projects focusing on on the circuits used in an electric vehicle, and in electronics and electromechanical, the lab projects will be different. But overall, the circuit logic simulation software, it has over 10,000 devices and components, including high voltage EV components that can be easily picked from the device library. You can see on the left-hand side, it's a brief device library, but there is also a extensive device library in the sub-menu items on the top. So you can pick any device from there. You can build your own circuit if you like. Now there are, again, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning, there are more than 200 lab projects, pre-built lab projects on the programs. So you will be able to use those lab projects and learn from it. But at the same time, let's say if you like to create something on your own, because that's the best way to learn and practice, you can pick devices from the library, put it on the breadboard, and then join the wires and run the simulation to see if it's running as per what you are expecting. Here on the screen, what we're looking at is a three-phase AC motor circuit. This circuit is part of one of the practical example where students are required to troubleshoot the motor circuit. When you run the simulation, I've already ran the simulation here, and you can see the waveform, as well as on the top right corner, the voltage rating. When you run the simulation, the waveform is showing in an unbalanced condition, and what they really have to do is they have to find out which component is damaged, and they have to replace that faulty component in the motor circuit to make sure they are getting a balanced condition on the waveform and proper voltage rating. So this is how they troubleshoot, and that's how students learn how to troubleshoot a motor circuit, and when something like this happens in real world, because they would have practiced on a simulation software, they will also know how to do it on an actual EV. Okay. I think that's about it from me. Thank you again for joining us. I'll pass it back to Iris.
Okay, and as Geet alluded to, we understand the importance of providing support to our students all the way through our programs. We do have a robust student support center, and it is staffed with experienced technical and tutorial support professionals. They are available live. You can call them toll-free, or you can email them Monday through Sunday. We do have extended weekday hours, so we understand a lot of people don't work the traditional or 9 to 5, they're shift workers. And so from Monday to Friday, you can reach somebody in the support center till 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Saturday and Sunday, they are there to help you from 9 to 5. We've also created a 24/7 online student resource center with online discussion forums and other helpful learning resources. We do have a Facebook group, and we encourage our students and graduates to join this group, to become part. It's a private group, to become part of our community, to build your relationship with your peers. We have some resources on there, some news items, and job postings. So that gives you a full, I hope, an overview of all of our programs. I hope Shimon has been able to answer some of your questions. Shimon, I'm going to turn it over to you if there were questions that came in that you couldn't answer. Otherwise, we do have some pre-submitted questions that some of you sent through to us that we will review. Shimona?
Just a sec, Iris. So there are a few questions I haven't gotten to as yet. Let me just see if any of them are overlapping from which I've responded to already. Just a sec.
Okay, so while you're doing that, why don't we start with some of the pre-submitted questions? I'll go first. There was a question that came in asking about the accreditation of our programs. Are our programs accredited? So yes, our programs are credit bearing. They are credit bearing with CEUs, that's continuing education units. So once you've completed the program, you do get CEUs for our programs. George Brown College is also a fully accredited post-secondary institution. We operate under the Ministry of Colleges and Universities in the province of Ontario. We are a brick and mortar school. We have, 15 or more thousand students, 64 continuing education students, and we offer certificates, diplomas, and degrees. Geet, there was a question that was pre-submitted about are these programs geared for people who are already working in technology and trades and who are looking to upgrade?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I can answer that one. The simple answer is yes, these programs can be taken by anyone. Our programs are designed to start at very base level. We do not expect anyone to have any technical background. Obviously, having a technical background makes it easier for someone to go through the program quickly. The best part of the program is it's self-paced. There is no predetermined deadline where you have to finish the program by 6 months or 1 year or 2 year. You can study at your own pace. If someone has some technical background, let's say if someone is coming from electrical background and they're upgrading themselves to PLC technician, they may be able to go through some of the initial modules pretty quickly, but once they hit module 6 or 7, where there is a huge number of lab projects and programming involved, they can take their time to go through them properly and finish it. But again, coming back to the question, there is no prerequisite. Anyone can start at any level. Our programs will teach you everything you need to learn to work in the manufacturing industry. That way, once you graduate from the program, you'll be ready to work on the jobs.
Right. And I'm going to add to that. What we do find is people take a number of our programs. So somebody might start with the introductory PLC program, move to the advanced program, take the automation program, because you're building a toolbox of skills with all our different programs. And there is some overlap between the programs. So that if you've taken the PLC program, the introductory, it overlaps. There are 7 overlapping modules in the PLC Technician 2 program. So you will get credit, and the cost of the program will be reflected as well in your second program that you're taking. Shimona, are you ready to throw questions over to us?
So I've caught up with all the questions basically, but someone wanted to know about if they're like an international student. You could address this for everyone. If they need like a study permit to take the course. So just to clarify that for everyone, I responded to the person directly, but that would be a good question to someone.
So we have students located in Canada, the US, and all around the world. And I do mean all around the world. They're online programs, so you never physically attend the college. You can register, and you don't need a study permit. You don't need to come to Canada. You're able to work from your home or business, wherever that might be it Canada, the US, the UK, or further afield. So there are no study permits that are required. You register in the program. Your registration, we send you an online link, and you download your web-based curriculum. As Geet mentioned, you work at your own pace. We do have toll-free lines. If you can't access us toll-free, email. We do respond within 1 business day. I hope that answered it.
I do see a question coming from Harshita here. She just sent me a question which was submitted recently to our Google form. And one of the question is this curriculum regularly updated to reflect the advancements within the industry? And the answer is yes. We have a lot of our programs, like Iris mentioned earlier in the presentation, that we launched our electronics back in '96, I think, and then we have and gradually we launched other programs as well. But over the years, we have updated our programs so many times, and we continue to do that. We get feedback from all over the place. We have industry experts working to update our curriculum to make sure that our content is very much up to date to what's going on in the industry out there.
And with respect to, I see that, how can I get a job and are there opportunities? So there are opportunities. We won't, when it comes to finding a job, because we have students everywhere, we don't offer co-op programs or anything like that. But what we do tell everybody is you have a brand new skill set. And that will certainly give you a competitive edge and open doors when you're looking for new opportunities. Again, we encourage our students to join our Facebook group because you're going to be with, you're going to increase your network of people. We do post job opportunities as they come through to us. But we tell people when they ask, how do I find a job? It's the traditional way. You know, you look on job boards, you pick industries and companies that you'd like to work for. Again, you've got this new set of skills that are going to be very valuable to industry today.
And a couple more questions here, Iris. One of them is, can I place a higher initial payment so that succeeding monthly payments are lower than what displayed in the curriculum? Do you mind taking that one?
Sure. So we do offer flexible enrollment options. You can enroll in the full program, or you can enroll in modules. So yes, if you want to, if you don't want to register into the full program all at once, absolutely, we have the flexibility to, it's like installments. You register for the initial package, which gives you the web-based curriculum and access to your first module exam. That web-based curriculum does include the entire program, simulation software, all the theory, all the labs. And as you get ready, or you can start registering into multiple modules after that. It's up to you, but we give you the flexibility. Ultimately, the cost of the program, let's say for the PLC program, the full program cost is $1,700. Whether you choose to pay by module or pay for the full program up front, the cost is the same. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, and I have one question that came up regarding refund policy. Iris, if you would like to address that. So he's asking, is there a refund policy, $20 per module fee, or no refund at all for the online courses? Is it safe to pay the whole tuition fee?
So, you know, it really depends on what your specific need is. So once you register into our program, and download the program material, there is no refund on that program material. So you've got that, you own it, and we cannot refund that. But you've got a very valuable tool. If you're questioning whether this program is right for you, whether you want to do it, and you just want to kick the tire, buy the program, the web-based material and module 1. There is a 10-day period from once you receive your web-based material where you can get with a $20, I think, fee per module, you can get refunded on the tuition portion. Unfortunately, not on the web-based curriculum portion of it.
Thanks, Iris. I have one more question regarding license. So after graduate, will I get any license? And is the tuition fee tax deductible?
I can answer the first part of it, Iris. So with regards to the licensing, so when you register for the program, the web-based material that Iris mentioned earlier, it gives you three license cards. So when you register as a student, you're allowed to install the software, the computer-based training software, on up to 3 computers. You can You can install it on one right now. A lot of our students, what they do is they study this. A lot of the students are also sponsored by their employers. So what they do is they sometimes study at work, sometimes study at home. So in that case, they'll install on two computers, on their work computer and home computer, and then they will have an extra license available for them to use it in case one of their computer is decommissioned and they have to upgrade to a newer computer. They'll have an extra license to use it at that point. But once you graduate, so now this three license will stay with you. So as long as you have the computer, the software will be on that computer forever. It doesn't expire. It's a perpetual license, but it's tied to the unique user account on that particular computer. And let's say if you graduate from the program and you have only used two licenses while you were studying, you will still have one more license that you can install it on any computer in future. We do not take away your license once you graduate, because you have already paid for it. You have your three licenses to use it anytime you want.
Regarding, we do provide you, if you are a Canadian, we do provide you with a T220 one or two
T2002, yeah.
T2002, and that gets issued February for the preceding year. We do have a lot of U.S. students, and they use their receipt. And so you'd probably have to check with your accountant or your state government taxation, to check that out. I don't know, but I do know that many of our U.S. students provide a receipt in their tax returns.
So I actually have a question from Tony here. Hi, Tony. So your question is, does the PLC program include SCADA system training? So the answer is yes. Our PLC Technician 2 program, which is the advanced PLC program. Now, the two PLC programs that we offer, the first one is the introductory. You can't really say it's introductory, but it's actually based on the older technology. Both our PLC programs are based on Allen Bradley PLCs from Rockwell Automation. Now, the first one is based on Allen Bradley 500, while the PLC Technician 2 is emulating the latest generation of Allen Bradley PLC, which is the Studio 5000 simulation software, the emulator. So the difference between the two is the second one is the tag-based programming. And in the PLC Technician 2 program, we do cover SCADA systems as well. We have total 19 modules ranging from timers, counters, DCS, SCADA, and all of that. And we do cover SCADA systems in our PLC Technician 2, but not in PLC 1.
There was one other pre-submitted question, and Geet, it was about final exams and how they work. If you could quickly, I don't know if that came up in any of the posted questions, but perhaps you could just quickly review that.
For sure, yes. So there's an exam. Students will have to take an online exam at the end of each module. So let's say if you're registered into a PLC technician program, there are 19 modules that you have to study in the program. And at the end of each module, you'll have to take an online exam. Now, before you appear for your online exam, we have lots of material provided on the software. We have there are review questions at the end of each section. There is a review question at the end of entire module, and then there is a practice exam at the end of the module. Now, the best part of this practice exams is every time you launch a practice exam, you'll see a different questions on it. So we always recommend our students to do the practice exam at least 3 to 4 times before they decide to go for the online exam. That way, they would have covered variety of questions and have had enough chance to practice different programming examples, the math questions, if there are any. And then they go for the online exam, which they have to log into their student resource center and then take the online exam. The format of the practice exam and the online exam is same, so that when you're taking your practice exam, you're really getting the experience of the online exam as well. The exams are timed 90-minute exam, and there are about 30 questions that you would have to answer in the exam, and questions range from multiple choice to fill in the blanks to short answer, and sometimes a little calculative, depending on if you may get a lab ladder logic program diagram on the exam question, asking you to identify which rung is wrong and stuff like that. I actually have one more question here from Joseph, and his question is, I'm currently working in a manufacturing company as electrical assembler, such as electrical panel, also doing soldering. Do you have program that fits for my current job? So that's a great question, Joseph. Now, again, it actually depends. We get tons of prospects asking us same question as you. They want to upgrade themselves to work in the manufacturing industry. What we always ask them to do is, and again, our program advisors and program consultants can really talk to you one-on-one and give you advice. But what I would suggest is you have to look around in your company, and that's what a lot of our students have done it as well, as they see if there is a opportunity available in your company to advance. For example, someone there is a department where they are looking for a robotics technician, then you can obviously register into the robotics technician program that we offer, and it will help you to get that job. If there is a department where they're looking for PLC technicians, then you can register into the PLC program. So depending on what your goal is, what kind of career you want to advance into, we can advise you which program will fit best for you. One thing I would suggest, now you already have some electrical experience, so something like PLC, automation, or robotics would be the best fit for you. But again, depending on what you're looking to go, will make a huge difference there.
And if you don't mind, I'm going to jump in, Geet. Sorry to step over you, but what I'd suggest is that you contact one of our program consultants, and I just posted the toll-free number, because they'll sit with you on the phone and find out what your specific needs are, and try and understand what you're looking for in the program, and help you find which program might make most sense to you. They're super helpful. Their role is to talk about our programs. They're experts on the programs, and to help you decide which program will meet your specific needs. I know that we're like, it's great. Most of you have stuck around, and this is quite unusual. I feel like we're flying a little blind, because usually we see questions popping in. Shimona, Hasna, is there anything else that we haven't addressed? Because I think we've answered most of the pre-submitted questions.
Yeah, and I've caught up with all the questions in the chat as well. If by chance we missed any of your questions, I would suggest you drop us your email in the chat, and we'll get back to you directly, or feel free to call us on the contact information I shared earlier.
Yeah.
And for your information, this recording will be shared with you after the session, and
Early next week.
Next week.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for right now. I really appreciate your joining us. I do encourage you to contact Angelo or Sava or Isabel. These are our program coordinators and consultants. They are really very helpful in helping you figure out, if you're not sure about the programs, which program is right for you. I really enjoyed this session. I hope you did too. And as Hasna said, early next week you'll get a link to the recording. So have a good afternoon, everybody.